finally, you might well say, on engagement, on client coach contracts engagements. What do I think is best practice? What about engagement models? Well, what I want to share with you today is what I think of as best practice. My specialist field, if you like, is leadership development. Now, leadership is not something that people become great at overnight. And contrary to popular belief, leaders are not born. Leaders have a lot of skills to learn over a long period of time. So it's certainly not an area where you can expect a quick fix. So in my area, typically an engagement should be 12 months with a minimum of 6 months. Now, 12 months is probably what it takes to carry through the kind of changes and the depth of changes, the sustainability of those changes that's required. Now, sure, there's going to be a lot of spin-offs from the core areas that we're focusing on. There's going to be a lot of other things that crop up during the time. There's going to be a lot of other coaching that I can give. But if we really want to make the changes and make them stick in those two areas with somebody who's an experienced professional, it's going to take some time. Well, that's the length of engagement that I think is ideal. Secondly, what about the question of providing a guarantee or some kind of warranty that there will be outcomes? Well, again, best practice is to say yes. In the areas that we agree, there need to be outcomes. Otherwise, one of us or both of us haven't done our job. We've not played our part. I think best practice, well, if you can afford it, is to defer your fees right to the end. Some wealthy and very successful coaches do that. But I think for most of us, rather than doing a monthly retainer, I think best practice is to work out, say for a 12-month contract, what the fee is for the year, and get 50% upfront before you start. There is this question of ownership by the client, by their organization and their commitment, and they're buying the 50% buys whatever may be needed, the 360-degree feedback, your time initially, your time all the way through. And the other 50% to be on completion, right at the end of the engagement, if there is evidence of progress, of achievement being carried forward. Now, that guarantee in best practice is over a 12-month period. If they don't agree to a 12-month, then I wouldn't give the guarantee at the end. However, you can do a sliding scale. If we terminate before the end of 12 months, then we would look at this much over that period. So first of all, the length of the engagement. Secondly, the question of guaranteeing results and outcomes. The third thing is, I suppose, the byproduct of that is, what if it's just not working? What if the client isn't pulling their weight, their heart's not in it, their circumstances change, they leave the organization, they fall ill, you fall ill, things kind of fall apart? Well, then you need to have built into your engagement the return on investment tracking. You need to have some kind of means for showing early on that things aren't working. Work on an appropriate strategy, but if it's not working, then the coach should walk away. If the coach is not doing the business, then the client should have the opportunity to walk away. So have an escape clause in the engagement for either party. Include that in the terms of engagement. But also, I would build into, I think it's best practice to build into the terms of the engagement the three issues of coachability that I discussed earlier: courage, humility, and discipline. These need to be being shown consistently all the way through by both parties. And if they're not, the coaching is not going to work. And you need to either change things, or you need to challenge it. You need to come up with a new strategy, or either party, you need to walk away and terminate the engagement. The downside, the other side of this is I've seen coaches, and I've been guilty of it myself in the past, is being too optimistic, of hanging on too long, and when it's really not working, and just kind of hoping or wishing that something will change, or taking the client's word for it that they're actually going to do better or differently next month, and doing that time and time again. You end up with a lousy testimonial, you end up without getting results, you end up wasting your time, and you probably won't get the second 50% of your engagement fee either, and so you've wasted the best part of a year getting nothing for it. So I think be disciplined, get it right at the outset, and then you can challenge your client at any stage when they're not fulfilling their part of the engagement. Coming to the end of this series now, you may be wondering where I am, the backdrop here. I'm in Krakow in Poland, a beautiful historic city. It's had a tough past, it's had a very wealthy past. It's a very interesting, very beautiful place to visit. We're looking at the castle right in the city centre, right behind us. I hope it hasn't been too distracting. Anyway, the coaching engagement, that's your job. Over to you.